everybody listen to Darren Carter. Yeah. We all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, listen to a Pocket Party. Pocket Party. Durham.
And we're back. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Pocket Party Podcast. I'm your host, Darren Carter, the party starter. To my side, we have Mr.
John DiResta. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. By the way, I don't have any tattoos. I got freckles. I used to do a joke. I say, I got freckles, punk, cross your eyes. And then I'd make up something like, that's the Virgin Mary, puto, or whatever, you know.
That's funny.
That's funny, right?
Like
I should bring
you
that
should
back.
say if you connect the dots.
Connect the dots. I'd be like, or I'd say like, I got too many freckles. It would be like, check out my army tank. It's rusty. Like it's an orange,
right,
army tank. But you have really good tattoos. And
oh, thanks, dude.
I think what I'll do at the end of the show, I'll take a photo and then I'll insert it into the video version. So for the people that are on YouTube, they can.
This one's all scabbed up.
You looks really
pick
good,
a scab?
dude. No, that looks good. That's like a golden panther with like red, like where he's been scratching blood.
He's dug in.
He's dug in.
Like your mom's.
Like your mom's. Oh, I like that. That's a really good looking tattoo. I'm not into having tattoos on my own body, but I could see.
Watch this.
I can see how cool that is.
It symmetrically matches this one.
Yes.
So one's black,
like a Black Panther,
and one is like a yellowish.
I know.
Tiger. What would you call that?
Yeah,
not a
like
lion,
like
right?
a cool tiger. Like a cool.
I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I think I like the one on your left arm better because it's all those colors look really cool.
This one's 6 weeks old and it's a black blotch.
Yeah, it looks like
it's already a black.
It looks
blotch.
like a tattoo you got a long time ago.
It looks like I got it in a prison. Dude, that's my goal. You know that.
Yeah.
I want to look like an escaped prisoner.
Oh gosh.
Did I say this already?
No, tell me.
In a Burt Reynolds movie in the 70s.
Funny.
Named Dutch.
That's
that
funny.
Knows once we get out.
Yeah.
He knows how to keep us out.
Wow.
He's got to go.
And then what's the deal with the ties? Like you're starting to wear ties now. I love that tie. It's a good looking tie, the sunflower. Is it an expensive tie?
I don't know. I always wore a T-shirt for 25 years. And, one day I just bought this shirt.
Yeah.
And it fit nice. And I put a tie on and I was like, oh, I don't know. And
dude,
now
it looks good.
And now
yeah, we
just came from Long Island. And we're in Long Island. When you go to a thrift shop,
yeah, it's
a thrift shop. You get a New York Yankee jacket for $5.
Oh, yeah.
In L.A., it's a high-end used clothing store.
Mm-hmm.
The fun is sucked out of it.
Yeah.
So my kids go to this one in Baldwin, Long Island, home of Dee Schneider from Twisted Sister, and they bought me this tie. So this is the first. They picked it up. They bought it
from the
thrift shop.
Wow,
in
that's
Long
cool.
Island, Baldwin.
That's cool. Like, I wonder what the story is behind that tie. You know what I mean? Like, if you could see, like, the different people that... Maybe it was, like, a jewelry salesman in the 60s or something.
I would like to think that Dee Schneider wore it when he testified in front of the the Senate.
Yeah. Against, what's her name?
Gore's wife.
Yes, Al Gore's wife.
For the explicit lyrics on the album covers.
Yep. Something Gore. What was her name again?
Oh, I don't know. Patricia?
She's the reason that we have the ratings on albums.
Well, watch this. I have a friend of mine. This is
Tipper Gore. Was her name Tipper Gore?
Yeah. This is a great... Only Long Island guy can think of this. He was in a metal band. Can I say the name?
Yeah.
It was called Snatch.
Okay.
So he was in Snatch. Okay.
There was a movie called Snatch.
And it comes out a little different when you have new teeth. Snatch. Caitlyn Jenner. Snatch.
Did you get those teeth from Goodwill?
Shazoinks in Long Island.
In Long Island.
No, watch this.
In LA, those teeth would be $8,000.
So my friend is in Snatch, and they're not getting any in Long Island. They're not getting any traction. So they get an album made really quick, maybe like 5 songs, and send it to Tipper Gore with complaints. And now they're mentioning Snatch. In this hearing. Like,
wow,
dude. No one else could think of that in a million years except a Flid, an effing Long Island douchebag.
That's good.
That he was playing chess, not checkers, with Tipper Gore.
That's good.
Pound it.
Pound it. Bam. That's true, man. That's funny how people think like that. You know, I'm listening to, once again, Jerry Weintraub, listening to his book. He promoted Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, Neil Diamond. He represented John Denver. So check this out. John Denver had a Christmas album, and he was, you know, it was at a point of his career where he wasn't, it was towards the end of their relationship with Jerry Weintraub. Like things, like John was starting to, he went from playing coffee shops for $75 to like multimillionaire and getting booked crazy on NBC or ABC, a certain network. I forget which one it was. But like he was getting these great deals, like the movie Oh God with George Burns. And he had a Christmas album due, and he just wasn't getting around. Long story short, it was coming up really quickly on Christmas, and the album wasn't done. But Jerry Weintraub is so smart. You know what he did? He bought some time. They had these special Christmas envelopes made up with the cover of John Denver, and he got them into record stores, and so people would buy these exclusive envelopes. And then
proved that they are now owed a record album.
Yes. And
wow.
So that bought time. So then the albums could be shipped, you know, like after Christmas, and everybody wins because the people are like, oh, I got this exclusive thing. I can't wait to get my
and you can give it as a gift.
Yeah, exactly.
And receive it as a gift.
Yep. You can send this gift to the John Denver fan in your life. That's what I'm saying. There's people that are really
smart
smart
like the
like
Snatch story better.
Yeah, well,
no offense.
That's what I'm saying, though. There's people that kind of think, like, how can we work this system as opposed to, like, not work this system,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
He's the same guy I told you that Elvis Presley goes, I want to see a full house. I don't want to see an empty auditorium. And so Jerry was like, oh, man, we only sold half of this thing out. So what did Jerry do?
He invented the black curtain?
That's another one you could do. He invented taking 5,000 chairs out.
So
every chair
just make the
technically
place
is
smaller.
full. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Woof.
So things like that, you know, those little maneuvers that you can do.
Nice. Yeah. We're going to play a little game called Name That Fire Code Violation.
Name that fire code violation. And we're looking at the table. There's
I'm going to grow a third ear.
I know. Hey, by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube and you see that little thing that says thanks, tap that thanks button. Let us know that it worked. Well, thank you. Everyone that hits thanks, you're going to get a shout out on a future episode. It does mean a lot to us, and we appreciate it. Thank you so much. So you just returned from New York.
I went to New York for Mother's Day with my two daughters, and we visited my dad, my mom, Jimmy DiResta, who's more famous than me, Joey DiResta, my older brother, Uncle Creepy, my sister, a couple of old school friends from the comedy business.
That's cool.
So I really made the rounds, like within like 3 waking days, like, you know, made like stops in Queens, Brooklyn, Queens, Long Island, Queens. Hold on. And it rained the first day and a half, like we never see.
Wow.
Here in LA, it rains from midnight to 3 in the morning, and someone has to tell you the next day that it rained. And you don't believe them.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't believe. You say, well, it didn't rain over my house.
Right.
It just was nonstop, day, night, day. Like when I woke up, like the second day, I said, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't 9 o'clock turned into noon. And I don't even know if I was awake.
Wow.
It was the saddest thing ever.
Did you bring rain clothes or no? Probably not.
No. It was, and then people are like, oh, you just run to the car. I go, but then you're in wet clothing for a long time.
Yeah. I got a question. Was this a surprise visit to your mom on Mother's Day?
No, my mom knew.
Oh.
Mine knew.
Because
knew.
people do that where they you ring the doorbell and then they're like, oh my god.
And watch this. Yeah. This is how close we live to Kennedy Airport. Woodmere, Long Island, in certain parts is the first town. It's connected to Queens. So this very south end of JFK Airport is like 2.1 miles to my mother's house.
That's
you dig?
awesome.
JFK is in Queens.
Yeah.
And then you drive about 2 or 3, maybe like 7 or 10 lights.
Wow.
And you're at my mom's. That's the first town in Long Island, opposite Montauk.
Wow, which is
the far east end.
How far is that? How far of a drive would that
like
be?
100, depends on who you talk to, 195, 120.
Miles?
Yeah, miles.
Dang.
And you go through 2 counties, Nassau and Suffolk.
Wow.
I did a gig in Suffolk. I probably told you it was
the furthest. Okay.
No, it was a $10 cover and a 2-tooth minimum.
So the
Don't
further,
worry.
Yeah,
Be
don't
hacky.
worry, be hacky. So the further you get away from Manhattan J and you go to the very end of Long Island, is that like
It's sandy.
our version of Riverside, Fresno?
Oh no! It's
Stockton. Is it
here's
still nice out there,
No,
or is
here's
it
the
kinda-
crazy part.
Yeah.
If you grew up in Nassau County, Suffolk County gets dumped on. That's it. That's just
The
that's
further
it.
one
Game
gets dumped
over.
on.
The further one gets dumped on. Game over. Right? Game over.
But it's probably more affordable
There's
to
no
live.
question. It's way more affordable, bigger yard.
Yeah.
You know, when we were kids, my dad would go to all these New York City fireman houses.
Yeah.
His fellow firemen that moved from Brooklyn and Queens. Everyone on earth moved from Brooklyn and Queens in the Bronx. They moved to Westchester or Mount Kisco. They all moved to Long Island, but here's the crazy. And so there was these big backyards when we were kids and Harrow's above ground pools.
Yeah.
It was like a fantasy world. It was really, really, really fun. And, but in Nassau County, the houses are a little smaller. You have less land.
I like how you said above ground pool is a fantasy.
Yeah, it is. It was. It
That's
had the
something
fake rocks painted on the side.
Oh, that was nice because we had one, but it was from Sears, and you just
We
kinda-
used to ice skate on it. And
Oh,
could only go in a
wow.
circle.
Yeah.
We used to ice skate and the water be all green and dirty.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we used to go in there. I remember it was like an above ground pool that you would.
Right, but what was I talking about?
How the further the counties go.
Oh, but here's the crazy part. In the middle of this, quote, white trash county, the whole south end is the Hamptons and Montauk. And it's the richest place in the world.
So that's where the
It's
Hamptons
a
is.
crazy
Wow.
dichotomy.
Wow.
Google that up.
Dichotomy.
That's an SAT word, bitch.
Look it up.
Fucking suck on that.
I don't know if they're still going to have the SAT. Everything's so, PC now, right? They say it's like biased and whatnot.
I got 3 words: mashed potato brains. Next subject.
If you know what I mean.
So hold on. Here's what happens
Yeah.
in Long Island when you go to Bagel Boss in the pouring rain. So it's a really good bagel shop. It's the best bagels they make in the world. And you get it scooped out, garlic bagel, toasted with tuna fish. It's the greatest thing ever. You get a sliced pickle and a cup of coffee. So you're eating a pickle and a coffee at the same time.
Believe it or not, that's
Winning.
really good. That's good.
Winning.
Who would think that's a good combination? Because I've done that.
So
It's so good.
what? So
Yeah.
in LA, most of the spots say for the cleaners, for the drugstore.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as that ever. Never thought of in Long Island.
You mean the parking?
The parking. So now everybody wants those first 3 spots
Yeah.
right in front of Bagel Boss.
Yep.
I mean, and I said to myself, is this real? People were jockeying and watch this. Now, like I'm looking at front wheels. I'm like, there's no eye contact.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, he just turned. And then it's a game of chicken as to who's going to be the most scumbag-ish. Like who's going to deal from the bottom.
Yeah.
And as soon as that guy backs out, who's going to squeeze literally
Wow.
and avoid an accident. Like someone's got to chicken out.
Yeah.
Put it this way. After only 2 or 3 minutes, I noticed, I said, holy cow, only in Long Island would somebody learn how to say fuck you with the nose of their car. For real.
Yeah.
And then while you're in the bagel shop, what is if people are ordering? What are they doing?
Looking to make sure the car's okay.
This guy. Look how close this guy is.
Yeah.
And literally, a guy ran outside, started an argument,
Wow.
came back in, and I caught his eye. So guess what?
What?
Now I got to hear the story.
Oh, he's like,
You
you
know-
see what this guy did? He getting
dude.
that close to my car and all that.
Dude. So anyway, it rained, and I call rain liquid sadness.
Yeah.
Just not used to it.
Yeah.
And we also ate at New Park Pizza. So myself and my 2 daughters went to Rockaway Beach, Queens, which is on the beach. It's the southernmost part of New York City.
Wow.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
And we went up on the boardwalk and took some photos. It was nice. And then we went back through Howard Beach in Queens, home of John Gotti.
Wow.
And
Did it change since you've seen it?
No, it looked the same. And we went to New Park Pizza on Cross Bay Boulevard in Howard Beach.
Wow.
Considered the best pizza in New York City. So if you top that, maybe the best pizza in the whole world. Voted that.
You know how out here you have a New York accent? Now, when you go out there, do you feel like...
No, I love to just go to a 7-Eleven or a Starbucks and listen. I'm like, that's what people think of me.
Yeah.
Dude, they're like, hey, hey. They're like, hey,
Like it's cartoonish almost, huh?
Listen.
And do they think you have a California accent?
No one said that, but they ask about the tan and the homeless tan and the teeth. You know what I mean? They ask. And a lot of them think I'm going to Coke parties with Bruce Willis and Arnold.
Still.
Yeah, they think I'm up on Mulholland because I'm in 2 movies that shot 22 years ago.
Man, it's
Right.
funny. You and I were talking off air about that, like how I was talking to a booker of a comedy club, and he's like, it's almost like movie credits and TV credits don't mean anything now. He's like, I'm having trouble selling tickets to these veteran comics, and then some 21-year-old TikToker can sell out, the whole room at 5 o'clock on a Sunday.
Well, I will tell you this: what Miss Congeniality? It was shot 22 years ago.
Yeah.
So when I tell young ladies that I make furniture for, I'm like, I was in Miss Congeniality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're like, what's that? I go, Sandra Bullock. I mean, one of the funniest movies ever made.
Yeah.
Men like it, women like it, kids like it. And she goes, when was it made? I go, 2000. You know what she said?
What?
I was 6 months old.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Guess what? I should just tell her I'm in Gone with the Wind.
I wasn't Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, you
what's
know how
that?
it is.
Is that a fan
Wizard
store?
of Oz. I was the lion.
What's that?
Put 'em up.
Never.
So-
what TikTok account is that? You know what I mean? It's so weird. It's like
here's
like saying you were in a play. I was in a play.
Yeah,
it's like,
It's like, I'm
oh,
doing
God.
a play. You want to come? Yeah. That's the worst thing you could ever hear. Watch this. Here's the 3 worst things in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Do you ever go to? I'm starring in a play this Saturday. Can you come? And I can't comp you.
I can't. I'm sorry.
No, I can't. Come on, dude. I need audience.
I can't. Like, we got.
Hold on. The next one is I do funny voices. And the next one you never want to hear is let me tell you about my screenplay.
Oh,
It takes place in Russia.
Oh, can you read it? Can you read my
No,
screenplay?
worse is to have to listen to it because you could take it, leave.
Oh, yeah.
You could take a hard copy, and my friend Peter Wren said, take it if they're really forceful, and the next day to get it out of the way, say it was a really good story, great characters,
Great story.
and
great
throw it in
characters.
garbage. Don't read it.
Wow. I know people used to give me scripts all the time, and I would read it thinking that, I'm going to read it. And then I'd be like, well, why'd they make me read this? Because it's not like I can get the movie made.
Right. I've had people wait when I had the tiniest little, tiny, I had a sitcom. I was in a few movies with Oscar winners, Sandra Bullock twice, Robert De Niro, etc. So people would literally wait at a comedy club.
I still know who those people are. No. Yeah.
People would wait at a comedy club that I didn't even know in strange cities with a big envelope and couldn't wait to. It happened a good 7 or 8 times.
Yeah.
And when you raise your hands and they think you got the magic dust, and this big move is the move they heard about on, Lifetime movies.
Yep.
And you're the guy that says, look, I can't really take it. If it's a common idea, look up Billy Joel. He's sued every other week for songs he wrote.
Yeah.
So, but here's the one thing that came out of Miss Congeniality for me. I watched it on the airplane yesterday.
Oh, before we get into that, I was going to say the good thing I will say that TV and movies, despite what that guy said about it, doesn't mean anything. There's still mediums that are out there, and they still play our stuff. So as long as your stuff is still being played, it'll pop up. And I think there's something to that where it surprises people. I'm on the Jamie Foxx show. I did an episode of the Jamie Foxx show. And yesterday I got a DM. It was like, oh my God, I just saw you on the Jamie Foxx show. This is hilarious. Like they were like, I never knew. And they were all excited,
Right. It's certain.
You know what I mean?
It means a lot more to other people in a weird way.
Because it's weird. It's like, it's unexpected. They're just happen to be laughing their ass off because they love Jamie Foxx. Then all of a sudden, I know that guy.
Well, it's also a little bit of street cred, for as much as we all do.
Yeah.
So I watched it yesterday on the airplane, JetBlue, and
how does that work? Can you order the movie?
Yeah,
up?
it was free. They had your own little TV, headphones, these headphones, and you could stop and start.
Oh.
So you could stop and start.
Yeah.
So
so you always choose to see, hey, are any films I'm in, are they playing on this airplane?
No, it's never happened before.
Wow.
It's just never happened before. And it was Miss Congeniality, and I start and stopped it, and right about 5 minutes in, I had to. I had to be
Yeah.
a complete Long Island a-hole.
You can hit pause? Can
I
you hit
had
pause?
to show somebody that it was me.
You're like,
and
hey,
I'm with strangers.
17C. Check out who's a 17A.
19E.
Yeah, 19E. Yeah.
In my balls with
What
the
about
19E.
the flight attendant? You're like, ding, ding, ding.
No,
ding.
here's how it went down. I had a middle seat. I was crunched
Oh,
in.
it's even better.
And I'm photographing because I'm just I've never photographed it. I'm on a plane that nothing else works.
I would not want to sit by you.
And
Oh my
every time it
gosh.
was me and Sandra Bullock.
How annoying would this be? Yeah,
So,
keep
but
going.
the girl to my right was sleeping, Asian girl. She was sleeping with a mask.
Yeah.
Guy to my right is an older white gentleman. At not that it matters, but he had white hair and he just looked a little stately. And
And this guy in the middle seat's go.
hold on, and he's got the mask.
Yeah.
And the earphones, and I
yeah.
still got to be a Long Island asshole. And I knock on his thing, and he goes,
He takes his
Can I
headphones
help
out.
you?
Yeah.
I go, see that? And I was on pause. I go, see that? That's me. I went like this, and he went just like this. Are you sure? I said, I lost 60 pounds.
Wow.
And he goes, okay, now I see it. And then he just goes like this. Is she as nice as they say?
Sandra Bullock.
I go, yes, she was. And he goes, all right. And he put the earphones on, right? So that's it.
Yeah.
I'm done with him. Till I put on How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. This time I fast forwarded it because I didn't want to. I fast
Oh,
forwarded
now you know how to work it.
to my
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah.
I hit freeze and I got a monster double chin. The biggest double chin
yeah.
you probably ever saw on a human being.
Wow.
And I poked him in the shoulder. He hit pause. He took his thing. He goes, yeah, can I help you? I said, that's me. He goes, again? I said, yeah, and that's Matthew McConaughey. He goes, oh, yeah. Was he as nice as they say? I go, he's the most charming guy I ever met. I'm ready to tell funny stories.
Yeah.
And he goes,
All
okay,
right.
thanks, bro. And he put he story chopped. He advanced chopped me.
Good.
Because he knew I was going to go on. But here's the strange thing that happened. During Miss Congeniality, I cried
That was already all strange. Everything you said was strange.
I cried 3 times.
You did.
I'm a grown man. I'm 57 years old.
Yeah.
All I do is listen to heavy metal.
Yep.
I'm a former New York City cop. I'm a former New York City transit cop. 2 different police departments. 2 different police academies. I worked in the subway of New York for 12 years alone in a police uniform in the subway of New York. But during Miss Congeniality, I cried twice for just being involved in this masterpiece. Like in these funny scenes. Like I didn't even remember how much I was in it. And I was like, zinger, zinger, whoa, zinger. And then there was other zingers in these scenes that they had to take out that I knew. And watch this. Secret. When you see the back of my head and you don't see my mouth, there's a good 7 or 8 zingers were added months and months after the movie's made.
Nice.
It's the last thing they do. And some of them they let me make up on my own.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Like one line was they show a girl on the computer and they put a bikini on her and they and everybody's going, ooh, skank, and throwing popcorn at the screen.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you hear me go, it looks like my mother. And you could tell it was put in. It doesn't have the ambiance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's cool.
But hold on. I cried twice for being involved in it. And then at the very end, when they give her the award and they say she's Miss Congeniality, and she starts to cry, and she has the great curly hair, and she looks, she's up here with the makeup and the dress.
Yep.
And she starts to cry and says all she really wants is world peace. And the camera freezes on her big smile.
Wow.
And Tom Jones comes on. She's a lady. Whoa, 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 she's a lady. Talking about the...
Did you knock on your neighbor's door? Like, you gotta sing this with us, man. She's a lady. And you're like crying.
No, dude, it's weird. I cried. I actually had she was sleeping to my right.
Yeah.
With a mask on.
Yeah.
Up against the window. And he was to my left. And I literally kind of went like while I'm watching the movie, I had my little soda napkin.
Yeah.
Sign up for a free credit card.
And you started dabbing yourself. This guy must have thought
Dude, it
you
was
were a
weird.
nut.
It was. I could.
It's weird how yeah. I've been hit like that.
And it wasn't like it was the most devastating thing that happened. I was like, I'm feeling a little melancholy that I'm in this movie, and it's funny, and I pulled it off.
And you're flying home from Mother's Day, and you're thinking about things.
And all of a sudden, I felt tears coming. I didn't even know they were on their way.
Wow.
It was like an eerie cry.
Dude.
It was an eerie cry.
Yeah, an eerie cry. Dude, that happened to my wife and I. We were watching an episode of Little House on the Prairie, and it happened. Out of nowhere, you're just laughing along. It's funny, Little House on the Prairie. And then, boom, you're like, the music, the violins start playing. They zoom in on something. And then, like you said, you just get this lump in your throat. And you're like, ugh. And I look over at my wife, and she's got a funny look on her face. And we're both like, oh.
I cried another time, and I know I bring his name up a lot, but
Pocket Party.
What's up, guys? How you like the show so far? Pretty good, right? Kind of weird that I'm out here in the country with the chair next to me, but anyways, if you like this show and you want to help out, go to CAMEO. I do birthday shout-outs, anniversary shout-outs, or if you just want to do a donation, go to DarrenCarter.com, PayPal, or Venmo at Darren Carter Comic. Now let's get back to the show.
And some people say I shouldn't tell this story, but nothing, and I might have said it already, but me and Ed Burns, the actor, got drunk with Bob De Niro. That's how I know him. I don't know if you know that. We got drunk. We were supposed to just stay from 7 to 8 at night in his hotel, and we stayed from 7 to like 2 in the morning. And we were boxed and packaged, the three of us, doing all of his lines from his movies, like really having a fun, like college stuff.
Yeah.
And
see, I don't really know a lot of his lines or other people's lines. I think that's why.
I'm from New York. Dude.
Yeah, that's better.
It's religion.
Yeah.
Goodfellas.
See, I wouldn't even...
Dude, try watching the movie Goodfellas with 7 New York City cops. That's my uncle's club. I knew him. The real guy didn't speak like that. That's where I grew up. See that house all the way on the right? That's my grandmother's house. Dude, nonstop.
I know. When I was in acting class, I'd take these acting class, and these actors would be like, yeah, I was on the set, and then all he talked about was acting and parts and actors, and this director did this and this. And I was thinking to myself, like, I just want to be able to sell more tickets to my comedy shows. Like, I don't really love...
No, I did.
But yeah, a lot of people do. A lot of people do.
But watch this.
Say a line from the Goodfellas. I don't even know if I'd know it.
Yeah, I'm funny how? How am I funny?
Oh, I know that
one.
What
makes
Joe
me
Pesci.
so funny? Yeah.
I'm funny how? See, I could do that with you and De Niro in his
kept
room.
your mouth shut.
I don't know
you
that
got
part.
pinched.
Shine my shoebox.
Oh.
Is that something? That's our movie, right?
I'm done.
No, wait, wrong movie? Is that the wrong movie?
No.
My shoebox?
No more shines.
No more shines.
They didn't come up there and tell you up in the joint. I don't shine shoes no more.
Oh, that's good.
No, you insulted him a little bit.
Yeah.
You insult. Hey, well, we're just having fun here. I just got out of we're having a little party here. And what, he gets his balls broke? Take it back. Remember the guy with the fur coat? Take it back.
No, I don't remember.
But why was I something New Park Pizza? Why did I bring up New York?
You started crying with Fred Burns or Ed Burns.
Oh. Me and Ed left. I took a cab like 3 blocks back to the Waldorf Astoria.
That's a nice hotel, I've heard.
For some reason, they got a good deal on it, so we were staying there. And not only was I staying at the Waldorf Astoria, my brother had the biggest 4-door Mercedes they make, like an army tank with a sunroof.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, look, for the 3 weeks you're here, just take it. I don't want to park it every night and, alternate side, get up at 6 in the morning. Mm-hmm. So I had my brother's army tank of a Mercedes in New York City while I'm doing a movie with Robert De Niro.
You're feeling like...
And staying at the Waldorf Astoria. And what's the one CD in my brother's that I don't think I'll ever forget from that time? One CD.
Dang. Not the kind of music you listen to. I would say it's not metal.
It is metal.
Oh, it is metal.
And it turned me on to a band that I can't listen to this album without, the emotion of Robert De Niro.
Dang. What would it be? What was out back then? I don't know. Metallica.
That's a very good guess. What there's no reason to run around in a circle, right?
Yeah.
It was Rage Against the Machine.
Rage Against the Machine.
And I'm not sure if it was the one where the guy's on fire on the cover, the Asian guy.
Yeah.
Or the one where it says RAGE, like in a red and blue. There's a different album there. But anyway, when I got back to the Waldorf Astoria, after hanging out with Bob and being kicked out by his wife at 2 a.m, I cried tears of joy.
Wow.
While I was drunk.
Wow.
On tequila. I can't smell tequila without thinking of who.
Robert De Niro.
In my balls.
Robert De Niro.
Bob. Fucking clanging him down like we were joining the Navy the next day. Like dicks.
Wow.
Like laughing at the stupidest shit with Robert De Niro.
Doesn't it suck in a weird way where you're because I'm sure in that moment you're like, I'm in the movie business now. I'm in the movie business. I'm hanging out with De Niro. I'm into Waldorf. I'm in the movie business.
But I'm in. And then that day I got shot. You know how many? I don't mean shot by a camera. I mean I physically had to do a.
Wow.
The blood bag blows up.
Like that was your last day filming, or no?
No. It was just a regular work day, but the big scene with 500 people watching, actors.
Yeah.
Danny Aiello shows up on the set, and I have to run down a street. I have to shoot myself. So as I'm running down the street in the movie 15 Minutes, you see my thumb go like this.
Yeah.
And as my thumb goes like this,
blood packets.
Boom.
Yeah.
A blood thing explodes, and no one tells you how to fall. No one tells you how to act when you're down there. No one tells you nothing. Nothing. So I go, boom. I go down on both knees, which I had knee pads. You'll see them in the movie if I point them. They're underneath.
Next time we're on a flight, you got to show me this movie.
They don't show 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, here I am, head down, blood is dripping, and all of a sudden, can I curse one more time?
Yeah.
It's not a sexual act. And as I'm acting, I think, oh, look, there's blood everywhere.
Yeah.
And no one tells you what to do. And I hear, lift up your fucking head. Because the camera was down there.
Oh.
And I'm thinking if I got shot, I wouldn't be looking like this.
Like a turtle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So lift up your fucking
Who shot
head.
me?
So watch this. I'm going to tell you an inside story. We do it once.
Yeah.
They say, how long till it sets up another one? Half hour to clean the blood. Give me a new shirt. Give me a new jacket. You know, the Vietnam vet with the army jacket is hooking me up. He's the ballistic guy. We do it again. Now my head's up. You know what I mean? They went to Central Park. If you remember, De Niro and Ed Burns run up to me and go, where are they? Where are they? And I go, they went to Central Park. See what I'm doing there?
Yeah. You're acting. You're acting.
So, I forgot why. I do it the second time. Cut. And then the guy, the military ballistics guy goes, hold on, I got a call.
Armorer guy.
He goes like this. It'll take me another half hour to do a third one. Oh. And he looked at me and goes like this. We're moving on. So I thought I messed up. No one ever said good job.
Yeah.
I didn't get an applause break.
Yeah.
A lot of times when you do a good scene, they say cut.
Moving on.
Yeah,
Bravo.
moving on. Hey,
Like,
everybody,
yay,
check the gates.
I know how to do it.
One more down.
Yeah.
No, dude, this was an eerie silence. He goes like this. Half hour. Okay. Moving on.
What did you find out from that? Or you have no idea?
No, I do.
Yeah.
So now I'm feeling sad. I'm like, I jacked it. Because again, no one usually talks over when the camera is on. Like, this was the first time ever on a movie set that while it was an action scene, the director's yelling what to do. Yeah. Usually they say cut. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was like, oh shit, this must be important.
Yeah.
He's yelling over the scene.
Yeah.
You dig what I mean?
Yeah,
right?
lift your effing head.
Oh, dude, and it was 100 degrees, 100% humidity.
Yeah.
So, and I had a not to overshare, I had a swollen toenail at the time.
Oh.
It looked like 3 Doritos stacked on each other.
Oh.
You want to see a photo?
Nope.
So, now my dad says to me, and my dad comes in on the Long Island Railroad, and he's drenched in sweat in a T-shirt. The sweat under the man chi-chis. And he goes, I don't think I'm going to take the Long Island Railroad home. I think I'm going to stay with you. Now I got the pot pipe out, the liquor, the porno, I'm staying alone in the biggest hotel in New York City. I don't plan on my dad coming in with me. You dig?
Yeah.
Even when we rode up the elevator, we were on the elevator with like the sheik and the king of some African country.
Eddie Murphy and his wife.
The hat, the dresses, the security. And you cut to my dad, and we look like two flea market vendors at Aqueduct Raceway selling bug zappers.
Oh.
So,
this is before the Goodwill ties came into play.
My dad says,
Good
totally sweaty.
Yeah.
My dad says to me, what are we going to have for dinner? And I said, let's order Chinese food. He goes,
Good choice.
You can't order. Because now we're sweaty. We're in the room for the night.
Yeah.
You can't order Chinese food to the Waldorf. That's how like out of touch he is. Like, even the Waldorf Astoria doesn't take deliveries. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
He had it. He was. You talk about calling the shot without knowing the shot.
Yeah.
He's like, we'll go out to eat. There's a million places. And I'm like, Dad, I had the longest day of my life. I effed up 2 shots in a movie that were a key part of the movie, and no one liked it. So I said, okay, I'm not going to argue with him that we can order Chinese food. So, all right, let's go right downstairs and get a hamburger like at a diner. We go in, and who's there? The Vietnam vet army.
Oh, the armory guy.
Armory guy. And without missing a beat, he goes, hey, man, you really did good today. I go, I did? He goes, you were great. I go, I was? He goes, yeah, dude, when you left, everybody was saying they got it. The guy's good. We have 2 to choose from.
Oh.
But nobody told me that. So I was relieved. Now I'm like, I don't care that my dad's with me.
Yeah.
I know I did my job. It was a really weird twist of.
Wow. So it was you were in your head for no reason at all.
I was way in my head.
They could have been like, oh, there was some shadow, or we could get it, whatever. It had nothing to do with you.
And I hadn't watched this. Now, it took me a whole nother movie. That was 15 minutes, was 1999. 2000, a year later, is Miss Congeniality, and I do 2 or 3 scenes. If you remember, the opening scene is a shootout, and some Russian guy shoots one of our guys, etc. And it was my first day, and, cut, move it on, cut, move it on. And, like, the last scene was with Michael Caine. So I shook his hand, and believe it or not, we had a lot in common. He was in the Army in Korea and froze every day and said he would never, ever, ever put on a uniform again and do this for other people.
Yeah.
And I was a New York City transit cop, and I didn't like it. It was just and we both wanted to be actors.
Yeah.
In a weird way. So we kind of bonded pretty quickly. He even says in the movie, he reaches over and takes a sandwich out of her hand and says, thank you. That's a proven fact. I watched it yesterday on the phone and photographed it while he was doing it.
Cool.
I said to him,
Photographed it.
I said to him,
Yeah.
I was the dick in the middle, photographing myself in a movie on a plane.
Which is hilarious. Hold that Michael Caine thought. Because I remember when I came to the L.A. back in the 90s, Damon Wayans was on stage, Comedy Store, and he goes, are there any questions? And here's what I asked. I go, I have a question. He goes, what is it? I said, because I'm still, stars are still in my eyes. I'm dreaming, like, what's it going to be like when I get in, I go, do you ever go to your own movies in the movie theater and then hang out in the lobby trying to get recognized? And he goes, man, I would kick my own ass.
Oh, that's funny.
And that made me laugh. And that kind of reminds me of, I did a gig last week down in Tustin, and the guy that owns the place is also a musician, and he has a 17-piece band, and they do all these corporate gigs and that kind of stuff, like big deal, And I said, I was thinking of my son, my 14-year-old son, how we've been bonding going over to the Guitar Center, and I asked this guy, I go, hey, do you ever go to the Guitar Center and just like show off? And he's like, no, I've never done that.
Oh.
But the way he said it, then he goes, I go to independent like guitar, like music stores or whatever. But that's kind of funny that you're on a movie, on a plane, requesting your own movie and then taking photos of it and waking people up.
And watch this. It in a weird way, It wasn't to show off. I didn't think of it as a show off. I thought it was more of like an uncanny event.
Yeah, hey, this is a story for you. This is kind of cool.
Yeah, you could tell your grandson when you visit him in California.
Yeah,
that you saw the guy from.
But that's the thing. I think the part that's probably messed up is it was a New York to LA flight. You know what I mean? This guy might have been in the business. He might.
No,
be,
he wind up. He was a doctor.
Yeah.
I wind up chewing his ear off for an hour. Told him every story I ever told you.
You did an unrecorded podcast.
100%.
So then the ice cream dripped down to my
Dude,
pistol.
so watch this. This is what
an
an asshole I was.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, I said, I just said, I showed, hey, look at all these scenes I'm in.
Yeah.
I showed him the photos. And then he goes, you said something about furniture. So now, whoosh, look at this table. Whoosh, look at these 50 tables in a restaurant. Whoosh. Oh, do you know who that is? Oh, that's Robert De Niro right there. Dude, and now,
oh, no.
not only am I telling stories,
Yeah.
they're all bouncing off these unusual photos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
6 degrees of separation. Like you name anything. Like here, I'll pick something up. How can you bring this back to a situation?
Yeah, right.
Look
right.
at this large cup of coffee I have.
Right. Whenever I go to Starbucks,
Yeah.
I either say my name is Ozzy or Ronnie James Dio whenever I go. So they have to yell it out.
Oh, it's funny.
Yeah, dude.
And then you're like, then you blend it in. My 18th birthday, I went to, or whatever.
I had a pot mitzvah.
Yeah.
Watch
Hey,
this. Hold
yeah.
on. While we were in Long Island,
Yeah.
I pointed out to my 2 daughters, you and I and Mom used to live there. Like a few, it was really
Yeah,
weird.
yeah.
We lived in this apartment building.
Oh,
Right.
that's
Oh, yeah,
cool.
dude. A lot of them. In Baldwin. Remember I told you Baldwin where Dee Schneider's from?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
drove to the house that we lived in,
Wow.
and I didn't even recognize it. That's how long, like, it was a different lifetime.
Wow.
We rented this little brick house for $1,000 a month. Guess how long we stayed?
How long?
6 weeks.
6 weeks there.
And we had to move
Wow.
everything. But,
Can I ask you a couple?
hold on, Michael Caine.
Yeah, Michael Caine. Oh, before we get to Michael Caine, because then we could, because I have these questions I have
Go
to
ahead.
ask, and you could say pass if you don't want to
No,
answer.
I
them.
don't mind.
I think it's great that your mother and father are still alive, that you went to go visit them, and how long are they still married? I think.
No, not at all.
They're not married.
No, I went away to college
Oh.
in New Paltz in the fall of '82. I got suspended.
Yeah.
I ate 5 hits of acid, and I pulled the fire alarm in the winter, and there was 300 Grateful Dead fans all in their underwears out in the cold. I got suspended. When I came home from college, my dad no longer lived there.
Wow.
My mom kicked him out. So they've been divorced since the fall of '82.
Wow. So you're.
But they still hang along. They get,
Yeah.
because the family events. They,
like 40 years ago.
yeah, it was a long
Wow.
time ago.
Wow.
My dad was a New York City fireman,
Yeah.
25 years.
Was that a trip? That must have been a trip. Your whole life, you grew up with them, and then boom, they're what? Dad's not there
Yeah,
anymore.
and blaming it on my mom.
Yeah, they go. Yeah, but it's cool that they both. How far away do they live from
Like
each other?
3 miles, Woodmere to Oceanside.
Okay, that's good. So then when you go back, it's easy to see each other and.
And in the movie Goodfellas, remember Henry Hill had a gumad? He had a girl that he went to go see that he did the coke with. Mm-hmm. It's his girlfriend on the side.
Yeah.
His gumad. You dig?
Yeah.
She lived in she lived in Rockville Center, and he lived in Oceanside, and that's where my dad. So all these little towns are kind of where I grew up.
Yeah. So it's cool to see mom and dad. Is your dad have like the tattoos and all that kind of stuff?
No, my dad only has 1 or 2 tattoos. He's funny. He's a real schnurrer. You know what a schnurrer is?
Tell us again.
Schnurrer is just super want to save money, get stuff for free. It's like, you got to bargain. Bargain things
Yeah.
that aren't even bargainable.
Yeah.
Getting free stuff, and if it's free, you got to take 17. You know what I mean? You know how I found out I was a schnurrer, right?
How?
In Halloween, like 1973, I must have been 8 or 9 years old, and I was the first one into like a little vestibule. Like the door was locked, but you go into like a little tiny shack, like
Yeah.
with the light on it and the
Yeah.
mailboxes out front, and it said "Take one," and it was bit of honeys. Like 40
yeah, I
of
remember
them.
those bit of honeys. I like those.
It said "Take one."
Yeah. You look around.
I'm 8 years old. I dumped them all in my bag
Oh wow.
and the bowl.
And the pumpkin bowl.
So that day, I knew I was a schnurrer.
That's hilarious.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
We did 2 or 3 scenes that first day, and I said to him, "Hey, man," I said, "Am I doing all right here? You know what I mean? It's me and you, and
Yeah.
and the director hasn't said a word." And he said, "Oh, my friend, I can't really imitate him, but as long as he didn't say nothing negative, you did your job. We're moving on. Your back ain't gonna get scratched. You're in the big leagues." He said,
yeah.
Your back, they don't have time to scratch your back." And I thought they had to. From growing up on movie set.
Yeah.
I mean, watching movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you thought they're going to be like what you said, and scene, rolling, clapping, and
Yeah.
especially if you're doing comedy at that time, you're used to people applauding you, and then it's like,
Well, not all the time. On 15 minutes, I gave Robert De Niro a few jokes.
Yeah.
And he did them in the scene. And when they yelled cut, the whole crew would cracked up,
Yeah.
applauded, and while they were applauding,
yeah,
Bob went like this. That's a John DiResta joke.
Oh, that's good.
Right there. And I think
Yeah.
I have it on VHS.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think I have those on VHS.
So they probably do it for a star, like that guy. You know what I mean? A guy like that.
No.
Yeah. Oh.
I disagree. They
They do it for regular actors,
No,
too.
they do it when they feel it.
Oh.
It's legit. They do it when they feel that moment.
Yeah.
Or if it's 50 takes and it's 12 at night and we all want to go home.
I got a question for you.
I'm not gay.
No, besides that, are you, have you ever seen Rocky Balboa? Do you know that famous speech? Do you know the famous, life ain't all about sunshine and rainbows. Do you know that one?
I think it sounds familiar, but I don't know it as well as you
I'm
would
going to
think.
look this up. I want you to have you read it as an actor. Would you do that?
Sure.
I love this. Okay, because I can.
I don't have to be Rocky though, right?
No, I'm going to do it as Rocky. I did it on a previous podcast, but I think I can do it even better now. Hold on. Here we go. I'm looking. I love this speech. This is but it's that famous one. Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go. Let me tell you something. Okay.
Is the lettering small?
Yeah. Do you have your glasses? Take your earbuds out if you go get them.
No. My glasses are for long distance.
Oh. Okay, here we go. Can you read starting from "But somewhere along the line"? It's a speech to his son. Can you read that? Oh, dude, you're fired. Hold on. Can you grab it?
I don't know if I can read.
Okay. Oh gosh. Okay, I'll do it. Hold on. Entertain the folks.
Yeah, while you're down there. Sausage.
All right, here we go. But somewhere along the line, he's giving a speech to his son. Or you can even back up. Let me see it. Let me see it real quick. We'll back up just a little bit.
Jesus Christ.
No, you're gonna be good. I want to cast you. So he's talking to this. He's talking to his son. I'd hold you up. And John DiResta, take one. Rolling.
Look, I'd hold you up to say to your mother, this kid's going to be the best kid in the world. This kid's going to be somebody. Better than anybody I ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just watching you every day, like a privilege. Then the time comes for you to be your own man and take on the world, and you did. But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let the people stick a finger in your face and then let them tell you that you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for someone to blame. Like a big shadow. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Keep going.
Let me tell you something that you already know. The world ain't full of sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, son. I don't care how tough you are. It will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or no one's going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Yeah.
How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know your worth, then go out and get your worth. Oh, I guess that should have been a little more. But you got to be willing to take the hits, not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that. And that ain't you. You're better than that. I'm always going to love you no matter what. No matter what happens. You're my son. You're my blood. You're the best thing in my life. But until you start believing in yourself, you ain't going to have a life. And don't forget to visit your mother and never, ever do the pocket party.
I was gonna put. I even went like this. John DiResta. Dude, that's a famous monologue, and you did good. I like your take on it. When he says "visit your mother," she's in the grave. So he's like, "And don't forget to visit your mother."
Yeah,
dude, that was good, dude.
Solid.
That was good. Even your son came out. Come here. Did you just hear what come here? You got to come out here. Could you stand right here if you don't mind? Did you just hear what your father did?
Clothes?
I did not. I came out to get my Uber Eats.
I did a monologue about.
Dude,
I'm sure it was funny though.
No, it was an emotional monologue. He's like talking to his son and pumping him up. He did the Rocky monologue. And life ain't all about sunshine and rainbows. It ain't about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit. Thank you.
That actually sounded like.
Thank you. Hey, I actually sound like him, but you know, thank you.
Dude, I got the zinger in at the end.
I know.
I was sitting on it the whole time, dude.
I thought that was actually funny that we're doing this motivational speech to your son, and then your real son came out, and I was like, but he's like,
It's uncanny.
he's like, I'm just here for Uber Eats, buddy. Hey, wait, hey, can you mind coming on camera real quick? What do you got? What's Uber Eats? What is that?
Acai bowl and a taro milkshake.
What's an Ataro milkshake?
Taro, it's like a fruit, some sort of fruit.
I have no idea what that
Boba.
is.
Boba, yeah. Boba.
Is it like healthy or something?
Yeah, you know. Fruit, lots of fruit.
That's cool.
Tastes good.
Oh, well, off you go. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's cool, dude. That was really cool.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. Dude, the timing of that. You know what I mean? You're like in this. You're like. I mean, you're telling a speech to your son, and then your real son came out. Like
Wow.
I thought he literally looked around like because he was looking for Uber Eats. I didn't realize that. I thought he was looking around like, Papa.
Yeah.
But no, it wasn't. It wasn't that. But somewhere along.
Papa,
I'll just do the last part. Ready?
Where have you gone?
I'll do this part. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place. And I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knee. I like the way you kept looking into the camera. That was good. You were like, you're a pro
Score
actor.
points.
You know what I mean? You were like, now if you know your worth, then go out and get what you're worth. Yeah, that was good. But you got to be willing to take the hits, blah, 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 blah. I tell you, believe you. Yeah, I love this. That's a great speech. Anyways, bravo, John DiResta. You're a real actor.
Thank you, my friend.
That was good, man. Do you want to continue acting, or you want to?
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, if for the right thing that's interesting and fun. I'm not saying I'm being choosy at all.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, believe it or not, having to say someone else's words with the camera on, with a lot of people around you, sometimes,
Yeah.
it's not the greatest thing that's ever happened in the history of the world.
Yeah.
Especially if you're used to being a comedian and/or an Instagrammer where you get to say whatever you want.
Yeah, TikToker, the whole YouTuber stuff.
Yeah.
I like.
But yeah, I mean, I'm ready for the next gig.
I'm doing. I'm going to be in a movie where supposedly filming June. It starts June 6th. I don't know. We'll see. It's with Paul Rodriguez. It's a religious movie.
Nice.
And, it's about religion, and I play a correction officer. So I'll let you know more about that. You know how that goes.
Okay.
They could push the date back. They could do whatever. But I got as far as telling him my sides, my measurements and all that
Right.
stuff, and doing all the paperwork. So supposedly it's to go. So that'll be cool.
Nice.
So it'll be like a 1 day shoot. But still, it'll be one of those things where hopefully people see it. It pops up. Hey, I saw you in that movie.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll be on the plane. And I'll be watching my own movie, taking photos of my scene.
If they play it.
Yeah, that's true. They might not even be that kind of movie that gets played on an airplane.
Right, dude. Not everything's played everywhere in the whole world.
I know. You know what? Worst case scenario, you could pull it up on your own iPad.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You could watch that. And every time watch this. I know a guy that did that. I did it. Watch this. I did a gig in Tempe, Arizona. Remember the Improv? That was a great club.
Yeah.
It's one of the best clubs ever.
Yeah.
And the manager of the club, you probably know her. She was a very pretty young lady, long dark hair, and she picked me up at the airport and she said, "You're John DiResta, right? What do you, just to make conversation, what have you been up to?" I said, "Well, I have a woodworking show called Hammered on HGTV, and I was a part of American Body Shop on Comedy Central." And she went, "American Body Shop?" I go, "Have you seen it?" She goes, No, I was on an airplane in the last row with the guy that wrote it, and he wouldn't shut it off. He just put it on his computer and kept telling me about all the scenes.
Oh.
And I was like, dude, I don't give a shit in my mind.
Yeah.
And so I just did the same exact thing,
Yeah.
but in a funnier way.
Yeah.
She got creeped out by the guy who wrote the show
not
I
by
was
you,
in.
but by the guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I first had a podcast, like not this one, not Pocket Party, but one like 12 years ago. And to me, I was so excited by it. Like I remember like the feature act drove me around Milwaukee, and I was like, hey, can we play my podcast? And so looking back, I'm like, that might have been annoying, but I thought it was really funny. And it wasn't just me, a solo podcast. It was like a group of guys. There was like, we had like 4 people on. And
Darren Spinnaker.
yeah, you might have been on that episode, and I was like playing it for the dude or whatever, but anyways.
Well, I watched this. There's very few people. Maybe Rodney Dangerfield's the only other person. He would do an Ed Sullivan.
Yeah. I feel like you would go to Guitar Center and show off if you had that talent.
Ed Sullivan on a Sunday night, and Monday night he'd be in your house in Long Island trying to sell you aluminum siding, and people would say, "Aren't you the same guy?"
Yeah.
So Blake Clark, you know him? He did 4 Tonight shows.
And he's in Toy Story.
Where the next night he was seating people at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
And why do I bring that up? What was the first one?
First one, I don't remember. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
It was something about doing a TV show and then still having to go back to real work.
Oh.
I don't remember what it was.
I don't think we were talking about that. I think you said that the lady recognized, she was annoyed by the guy playing the...
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and then I lost my way.
But I was just thinking, like, if you... Imagine how cool that would be, though, if you're really like a virtuoso musician. Would you go to Guitar Center and show off? I think you did do it once. And
I probably would. You know who did that?
Who?
Did you ever play? Remember the Improv in Vegas?
Yeah.
It was in that certain hotel. Mm-hmm. It was a good
Harrah's,
gig.
inside Harrah's, yeah.
Yeah, he did like Tuesday through Sunday, 2 shows a night, 8 and 10. And I remember either I was there or people told me about it. Remember how everybody would tunnel out and exit past that merch counter, a glass merch counter?
Yeah.
And they said, and again, if I remembered that he really was there, I probably would have became friends with him. So I don't think I saw him. The lead singer of Quiet Riot would stand right there.
Oh, cool.
But
That's cool.
to be recognized by the masses.
Wow. There's certain things that I think would be cool. Like, I used to always think that, like, if you were Michael Jackson, it was like 1983. How crazy would that be if you were just like on the side of a mountain road? So as people are coming down off a ski lodge, you're like, is that really Michael Jackson? Like, it would just be
I would think it would be a complete burden to be that famous.
Yeah, I obviously, I don't think, yeah. And by the way, we were going to talk about this. This is like a funny moment. So I don't know if you guys noticed these coffee mugs. Oh, his still has some liquid in it. But I walked in with these, and then you were like, because every time we do a podcast, I always buy coffee and come over. Do you remember what you said?
Yeah, why do I get a small? I mean, I'm up to my balls here in podcasts, and I get a small.
You go, don't they make mine in large? And I told you, I said, no, they're both large. It's just I get mine in a bigger cup, and then I opened up the lid to show it to you. But then I thought, well, then he might think I'm lying.
Yeah, but why don't you just buy the large? Why don't you do why don't you do the nice thing?
I don't like it to like be to the very edge.
Okay,
and
what
spill
about
over.
me?
I don't know, because I'm going to be driving, and as I'm driving, I'm taking sips, so I'm like, it's going to spill all over. But I'll do that next time. I'll buy you a regular coffee, but I'll ask for a large cup, a big old cup like this.
You're totally missing it. I still want more liquid.
Oh.
Yeah, what am I, a schmuck on wheels over here?
Oh, I'm going to get you next time.
What am I getting?
I'm going to get you the Trenta. I'm going to get you the biggest one there is.
What am I, chopped liver?
Yeah. I'm gonna get you one of those to-go boxes that they do.
You know
for
what this reminds me of?
What's that?
My dad over the weekend bought a big cheesecake, and he brought it to my sisters, and for some reason, just as they put the cheesecake out, someone said, hey, are we going to Kathleen's restaurant for dinner? So the cheesecake was like, boom, it was put down.
Yeah.
And with the second it was put down, people were all putting their coats on, because my sister and her husband own a restaurant 1 block away. So all of a sudden, everyone's like, oh, we're going to have hamburgers, and, this is the next part of the day.
Yeah.
And I said, even though it was walking distance, I drove the 1.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I drove my dad. And in the 1.5 minutes, he said, not once, not twice, 3 times. In the 1.5 minutes, he went, I spent $15 fucking on that cheesecake, and nobody fucking ate it.
Wow.
30 seconds later, he went, I spent $15 on that cheesecake. And then, just as we pulled in, he said that 3 times. We pulled in front of my sister's restaurant. We got a parking spot right in front.
Nice.
I put it in park. I kind of put my seat back because the heat was on, so I waiting for them to walk over.
Yeah.
And there was a long silence, and he looked at me and goes, they're fucking me with the cheesecake.
Yeah.
They're fucking me.
Can you put it in the fridge and eat it later?
I don't know what happened to it,
Yeah.
but it was making him sick to his
He was
stomach.
like, I bought a cheesecake and we're going to come to the restaurant. Okay, a couple questions before we go. Real quick. Did you ever see the movie Grease?
Of course, 1,000 times. John Travolta.
Do you like good Sandy or bad Sandy?
Don't really know the difference, but liked them both. I liked every girl in that movie.
And Gilligan's Island, do you like Marianne or Ginger?
Mr. Howell.
I thought you were going to say Mrs. Howell, but yeah.
Mr. Howell. No. I would have to say, what were the choices?
Ginger or Marianne?
For some reason, no one's ever asked me that. I would have to say, I would have to say Marianne.
Okay, cool.
Without a doubt. Well, I'm going to ask you one.
Yeah.
Ozzy or Dio?
Ozzy.
Okay. It's okay. Hold on.
I know you like
Sammy
Dio.
or Dave? Van Halen. Sammy or Dave?
You got to Sammy. I kept thinking Sammy Davis Jr. With Van Halen for 100%. Okay. I love David Lee Roth, but I got to say I like Sammy Hagar when I see him in interviews, and I like him on when I see him when he has his own show. I like him as a person.
Okay.
And I like some of his songs, but I love when I think Van Halen, I think David Lee Roth. That's what I like.
Okay.
You got more for me?
This one's going to be too inside.
Okay.
You know Iron Maiden? You're an Iron Maiden fan.
I think so. Yeah.
Bruce Dickinson as lead singer, or Paul Di'Anno?
What do they? What's the Iron Maiden song I can put my head around?
Run to the hills.
I like that one. Who sings that?
Bruce Dickinson.
I like that guy. Then
Okay.
I think that's it.
Sonny or Cher?
I cry. Speaking of crying, when he passed away, and then Cher was talking on TV, I cried, man. That made me so sad. Because I just had happy memories of.
This is what happened.
I've got
to
you,
me.
babe.
But
Yeah.
this is my Sonny and Cher story.
Yeah.
About 7 or 8 years ago, I'm doing a gig out in Palm Springs. And it's, you do a TV show. You're on AM Palm Springs. John DiResta coming up after the commercial. New York City Transit Authority policeman worked at the tolls. He doesn't know I worked in the subway. You know what I mean?
The tolls.
Yeah. He's in How to Lose a Miss Congeniality in 10 days. And he was in a movie with Robert De Niro called, was he in Bad Grandpa? So coming up after the commercial, they got it all wrong.
Everything's wrong.
And so I had the shorter hair. I might have had cut off sleeves so you could see the tattoos on the fat up of my arms, my armginas.
This is a better look for you, by the way.
Thank you. My armginas were probably showing.
Yeah.
And I did 2 or 3 bits. You Ride, We Hide. 9 arrests in 12 years. My own son has been arrested more than 9 times. Miss Congeniality. I weigh 250 pounds. I played Miss New Jersey. Then finally, have you ever been recognized? I said, it's funny, I said, right out in front of my house. I live in a pretty Mexican neighborhood in North Hollywood, California. And just the other day, a guy came up and said, hey, bro, you're in the movies, man. We seen you. You're like quasi-famous. And I said, yeah, I've been around. And he leaned in and said, I know you. You're Chaz Bono. And the whole place went dead silent.
Oh, no.
I mean, an eerie silent, and all of a sudden, the guy went, Chaz Bono and Sonny, they're very good friends of the show. He was our mayor. Mm-hmm. John DiResta at the Comedy Club. They totally cut me short by like 6 minutes.
That's crazy.
Dude, they hustled me off.
Wow. Well, that closes today's episode of Pocket. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying.
That's a wild feeling.
It's just, you never know where it's going to come from.
Yeah.
Those
shows are hard, man. Like, because they set you up. Sometimes you're on there for 3 minutes, and they're just boom. They're easier for us because we can do these prepackaged,
Yeah, I like doing them. I like doing the radio. I like doing this sometimes.
Thank you. Anyways, let them know that you like it, guys. Let them know you like it. Leave a comment below. It helps the algorithm. As I've told you before, hit that thanks button. Share these episodes. Give it a nice review. It helps us. It helps us, man. We're going to be out there on tour. If this thing takes off like we want it to.
Tomorrow night we got a gig.
That's right. I don't know when I'm uploading this, but yeah, you guys will see us soon. And we're trying to get something.
Oh, and also Flappers.
Yeah.
Flappers.
Yeah, we're going to try to do something in Burbank, Flappers, in over the summer. So come out. We'll let you know about the date. But other than that, John DiResta, thank you. Love the tattoo. I got to take a photo of that so we can insert that. Or, just take those earbuds out and stand up and just go right up to the camera. Go do that. And that's how we'll say goodbye. Just go show your arm on camera. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. And check out this. It's worth it. Look at this. Look how cool that looks. Look at that. If you're listening to this, go to YouTube and check this out. That's badass, dude.
Yeah.
You gonna get another tattoo, or is that it?
No, I'm doing the whole thing.
He's doing the whole arm. Look at that. Yeah. See that? See, that's the one that it already looks old. Too much ink. Thank you guys so much. Darren Carter, Pocket Party Podcast. John DiResta.
That's my Rolex. 2Ks. That's a Rolex.
Not even Rolex. It says Rolex.
Yeah, that's the joke. That's the joke. Rolex. 2Ks. I used to wear a Bolivia.
All right, guys, we're out. Thank you so much. And like I said, give us some reviews on Spotify. Well, however you listen to iTunes, Spotify, Apple Podcast. Thank you. And if you want to donate, DarrenCarter.com. Hit that PayPal button. The Cash App, $ Darren Carter Comic. Venmo at Darren Carter Comic. Let's give a big thank you. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Don't hurt nobody. Don't hurt nobody. Be careful. Bye.
All right, that went good.
That was good.
Everybody listen to Darren Carter. We all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, then listen to the Pocket Party.